Access Stories, presented by the Access VSA International Network, a program of the John F. Kennedy Center for the Performing Arts Office of Access and VSA, a Gene Kennedy Smith Arts and Disability program. Access Stories is a series of personal stories from Access VSA International Network members. These stories were filmed in August 2023 at the Leadership Exchange in Arts and Disability LEAD conference in Boston, Massachusetts.
Hello, I'm Beth Ziebarth. I am a disabled, cisgender white woman, and I have a spinal cord injury from a car accident when I was 16 years old. So I've used a wheelchair for most of my life at this point. I am the head diversity officer at the Smithsonian. My previous position was the director of Access Smithsonian, and I love how I now have broadened my purview from accessibility to diversity, equity, accessibility, and inclusion, and can work on all of those pieces of the puzzle. And I was going to talk today about representation and disability and perspective. And I think that it is something that we really need to think about, in the cultural arts, about how we want to surface the stories about people with disabilities and share them with the rest of the world to make sure that our history, our culture, are both respected, valued, and not forgotten. I think it's really important for us to think about what we have in our collections, what we can add to our collections, what we can do to bring out these stories, share them with the public. And we know that in museums that it matters to visitors that they see people who are like them when they come in the doors. They want to be able to see the staff who have similar identity characteristics. They want to see stories about people who are like them, because it can be very disheartening, really, to go into a museum and not see anybody who's like you. And the disability community is pretty vocal about this too. It's like we need to be able to share our history, our culture. We need to be able to raise awareness, social awareness about disability. And so I think that this is a really important area to include in diversity, equity, accessibility, and inclusion. I'm fortunate enough to have a small pool of funds that I will be able to offer to our museums and collecting units where they can do some of the research with their collections to find stories of other marginalized people. And when we say other marginalized people, I take that as people with disabilities and people who are LGBTQ+, because these are the stories that we don't necessarily often have on display.
Access Stories, presented by the Access VSA International Network, a program of the John F. Kennedy Center for the Performing Arts Office of Access and VSA, a Gene Kennedy Smith Arts and Disability program. Director and editor, Cindy Brown. Videographer, Jessica Wallach.